Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Writers Chat. And this is the place we like to gather as writers and talk about all things writers, for writers, and by writers. So we're glad you're with us here today, either live. We got a bunch of you in the chat room, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the end here, or you're watching the replay. We have quite a few of you, and we know certain ones actually submitted some questions early about this topic today, so we're excited. My name's Jean Wise. I'm one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined here today with three wonderful colleagues. We got Johnny Alexander, Bethany Jett, and Vicki Duerstock, and we're so glad you guys are joining in. We're really going to rely today on Bethany and Vicki.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that, they're both wearing red. And the two that know nothing about the topic are in blue. So the red ones are the smart ones. And they're going to tell us about how writers, how we can have an intro into a new kind of newer platform. I don't even know how long it's been around, called Medium. So I'm going to send it over. What do you want to start, Bethany? Why don't I send it over to you to start and let you and Vicki take us through this adventure of exploring Medium. Talk to us about it a little bit, please.
Well, I just want to preface that I feel a little bit of imposter syndrome with this topic today. It is not a platform that I have mastered yet, but I'm working on and studying and learning. So I will be Googling questions. I don't know the answers to.
Ditto.
So, well, I first learned about Medium through an interview that Jeff Goins had with Benjamin Hardy. And that was an interview talking about building an email list. And Medium is how Benjamin Hardy built his email list and then got that $220,000 book advance, which is what the case study was about. Well, that book's out. And it's called Willpower Doesn't Work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and yeah, crazy.
An interesting title. Yeah.
Hatchet Publishing published this. So that's when I started digging into Medium, and one of the we'll go into like the what's and how's, because there's publications, there's different strategies that you can use in Medium. But what I liked about it was that you can repurpose past blog posts and publish them there, and so you really can meet a whole new audience and get in front of your readers that way. So that was the draw to me to start. And then I've got some resources and things, but that's how I found out about Medium. Vicki, I know you had a different way that Medium came into.
Yeah, actually, I actually joined Medium like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Not knowing what it was really, other than I knew people wrote on it. I knew you didn't have any requirements for like actually setting up a profile and having to write something. And so I put a blog post on there that I repurposed, like Bethany said, from my life lessons blog that I was doing at the time, and didn't know what I was doing, obviously. But I did that one time, and then I just kind of didn't really go back to it because I didn't understand what it was or what it was going on, but I've had a profile. And so it's just kind of been sitting there, which is kind of nice because when I came back to it this spring, I was like, oh, I have people following me.
Wow. Yay.
And I haven't said anything in a while. So maybe I should do something about this because these are people that for following me aren't like on my blog. They're not on my email list. They're not people that I've seen before. They're coming through on a Medium and finding me and following me based on either my bio or something I already wrote. And so these are new people for me to be able to access and add to my other sources of information. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, this spring is really when I started getting back into it. And then of course I got a little distracted here in the last month. So I had some things that were rolling, but I love Medium personally because I was using it as a Twitter resource. Like I was using it to pull articles and things about, especially about writing, that I was using to throw over on Twitter. And then the people that were being tagged in them that wrote those articles were commenting on my Twitter.
Great.
And then following me, and I would follow them. So there was this real reciprocal kind of effect because I was just pulling information that I was already interested in.
So it's a publishing platform for us to repurpose things like a blog post.
Or
Or
create
other
new-
things,
yeah.
or any sort of new content that we produce. But then, Vicki, that's really neat. You were also curating content that you were using as content on your social media.
Yes.
Wow.
Which helps, right?
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when Twitter changed, the rules, back a couple of months ago and made us come up with new material or creating it in a different way. It was really nice to have a source of, people writing other things that are in that same vein, that was nice to be able to link back to.
Is there a way to do, I've been on there a couple of times, but is there a way to do a search for content, or how did you find the content you were looking for?
Bethany,
They have tags. I mean,
Okay.
so everyone who's like not on the screen right now or is on, why don't you just go to medium.com and I'll look at it together.
Okay.
Yeah, the tags are helpful, and then the
Tags are a big deal.
publications, yeah. And once I followed a few people that I liked, that I knew I liked their writing, then I would just, I get the email each morning that kind of gives me what's new, and then that was a lot easier.
Wow,
just to be able to,
Oh, I knew nothing about the email each morning. What's new?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with that.
Yeah, let's back up and talk about the basics.
One of the basics is a thing called publications. And so I've heard it described on different bloggers. They consider that to be like little mini magazines within Medium. So it's like, there's one called the Writing Cooperative. And so for these different publications, you can submit or ask to be part of like a contributor for that publication. So if you get approved, you have to follow their guidelines. Like I was looking at the Writing Cooperative today, you can't republish posts there. It has to be all new content. So you have to make, so it's a place for you to be able to repurpose content in some ways, but some publications are going to make you not do that. Now, if you write for a publication, this is going to be the very brief detail, and Vicki, you're going to have to like bounce on top. From what I understand, publication gets you in front of more people because people can subscribe to the publications, and it also helps you like narrow your niche in there. And I'll let Vicki talk about claps, but in the publication, if you get enough views or enough, you can start trending. Sometimes you can be put on their homepage if your post goes viral. They have a way for you to track your analytics, and then you can use tagging. And then there's even some strategies within your posts to make them go like more viral, which we can talk about that after we sort of like cover the basics. So, and there's also the partnership program, which you pay for, but then if you write for the publication, you can earn money from Medium. And I believe Medium is owned by Twitter. I know that one of the co-founders of Twitter created Medium. So it's always interesting to see how these platforms are so connected within each other. Like Facebook owns everything, it feels like. So it's nice to know that Twitter is still in the game with some stuff. So Vicki, you want to
yeah.
on that?
Yes. Oh, and I was just going to add on to, because there's two categories of Medium. You've got the free, and then you've got the partnership program, which you pay $5 a month, and you get to view all of the articles that are on there. Some people are part of the membership program, and if they're part of the membership program, they get paid per views, per claps, per, just different stats that they keep track of. And if you're part of that, which I did in April, I just went ahead and tried it because I just didn't know. I made 26 cents.
Report that to the IRS. Well,
Yay!
But I wanted to try it, and I wasn't in a publication. I was just trying that paid side of it just to see what would happen, because I'm all about trial and error, and if it doesn't work, I'll go back. But you can list your posts even if you're on the paid and you want to get paid. You can still put your posts in for free on the free side, and then if you see you're getting some good traction or something, you could always flip it over to the paid side and see if you can make some money on it. So I think that's interesting that they let you kind of move in between.
As a member, you get to read unlimited stories too. So you can't read all the publication posts if you're not a member. You only get so many. I think it's 3. I went ahead and paid for it too, but have not made any money.
Okay.
Not even a cent.
And you guys said $5 a month? That's
Or $50 a year.
huh?
$5 a month, or if you pay
Yes,
upfront.
$50 a year. That's why I was like, I don't remember I'm taking it out monthly, but yeah, I did the annual.
I just did the annual too, because I think, if I work at this, I might make back that $50.
Yeah.
26
But
cents.
let me clarify something though. So you said that there's the paid and then the member. So you have to be, are those two separate things? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you become a member?
You just sign up. You just tell them that's what you want to do.
Okay.
I'm putting the link.
Member is the free version.
No, if you're a member, you pay to be a member.
Okay.
But you can join Medium for free.
Yeah, and you can post for free. Like you don't have to, I mean, you can do it just as a resource for trying to collect emails. The reason people pay is because you're going to get more of an audience, over time. And that's one of the tricks, how to use Medium the best. There's a lot of people out there that are writing about how to use Medium to get more traction and get more views. And Bethany mentioned claps earlier. When you like something that somebody's posted, you can give them a clap. It's just
like clap?
At the bottom. There's little hands at the bottom, and you can just give them a clap. You can actually give up to 50 claps.
Oh, wow.
And it's awesome. It's awesome if you get a bunch, because then you build those up, and that's going to extend your reach some more. So I always try to give, if there's something I like, I always try to make sure I give the full 50 because I have them to spend. I just well.
Do you get 50 like per day or 50 per article?
Per post. Per post.
50 per post. Okay.
And per comment. So if you like somebody's comment, it's not like your blog post comment. You can also clap for comments, and you can actually get the comments to go kind of viral too. So you get that
interesting. Wow. Interesting.
Which pays you to make comments on articles because somebody may find your post interesting, right? So it gives you incentive to interact with other people on Medium.
Okay. So it is we've talked about these different platforms, and some actually being social and some aren't. Some are just for more search engines than social. So there is a social aspect to this, besides list building, as for us as to build our platforms per se.
Definitely.
Okay. Interesting on that. So you have seen a difference. It's built your website traffic. Have people come over?
That is an excellent question. I have not looked at that in the last month. I should, but I can track my stats on Medium itself, and I can see what articles are being read. And because there are tags that you can post in, if you can become a top writer in one of those hashtag, it's not really a hashtag, but if you can become a tag, if you become one of those top writers, then you get pushed to more and more people, and then you can get more views. So even though I didn't post in May at all, a lot of my posts from April, when I was trying to be really consistent and post, still got a lot of views and a lot of interaction, which I haven't really looked at.
Vicki, when you say you were being consistent in April, what does that mean? Like, how many posts did you try to put up? This guy named Tom Kugler, Keuegler. He posted, I think it was in the Writing Cooperative, something about writing on Medium. I liked it, I clapped, and then I retweeted it. He happened to come over to Twitter and like my tweet, and I said thanks, and then I went back and I followed him, and then he followed me, and he has this little email subscription thing that if you signed up, he would send you 5 lessons on how to grow your Medium. And so of course I signed up. And so his strategy is you should post every day. Right.
Which is a great strategy, but it's a lot, right? But he says it doesn't have to be like these 2,000 word posts. They can be 300 word posts and find different topics. So his topics that he wrote about, and he did this just 5 days a week. He didn't do it all 7. He was talking about 5. He did life lessons, traveling, blogging, and freelancing. And so those were his 4 topics that he consistently wrote about. And so that he didn't get bored, he didn't try to write on the same topic every day. And he would just come up with 300 words, 20 minutes a day, and then just go ahead and shoot it out there and post it. And
go ahead.
He's doing original content there. He's not repurposing.
Right.
And it's almost like what we could do on a strategy that we've used on Facebook, where you put themes for a day to post something along that day. Okay.
Which I thought was fascinating, because we do the same thing with Instagram, and we've talked about Same thing on Twitter, is trying to find those different categories that we already are interested in, that we're already excited about, and trying to hit those, on a consistent basis.
And that answered my next question, because it was like, okay, do we need to find that one topic so we become like the top person in that topic? But no, it's great to just do different things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And did he talk, because he's doing original content on Medium, which, we started with the idea of repurposing. Did he talk about repurposing your content there? Did that help one way or the other, or to be original was better?
He didn't, because I don't think he had a blog at all. So
okay.
He started on Medium. That was how he started. He's now expanded out to YouTube, and he's using YouTube as his other means of gathering email subscribers. But he has his strategy. I mean, he's a top writer on Medium right now. And I don't know that he's repurposing anything. I think he's just writing new stuff, and he's trying to make himself the top of those tags. So he's trying to make himself, an important person in life lessons, an important person in blogging, so those particular tags is what he's going after on a consistent basis. And because you're posting consistently, people are seeing your name come through consistently.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Rhonda asked a good question about, are there any social media schedulers that go to Medium? I've not seen it offered on the ones I'm used, but I don't know. What do you think?
It's not really like a social media platform like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. So like you wouldn't put a status there. The point of Medium is to have really well done writing on articles and topics, which is why they have that reward system with the claps and then the publications, because they don't want people just throwing up junk. And I like it because it's peer reviewed. So people, when they like your stuff, they're willing to reward you then, especially people who aren't writing for Medium. Some people are paying for Medium to read the publications in those topics. They're not writers, they're readers. And so it's kind of like Goodreads. Like your readers are on Goodreads because they love to read books. So it's kind of the same with Medium, although you're getting the writing aspect as well. So some people are there just looking for great content, and they'll reward you. So no, like you can't share from that way, but you can share your posts from Medium, like to Twitter. You can click, like my Facebook page is linked, my Twitter is linked from Medium to those accounts. So you could do like here's the link to Medium that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you have any? Go ahead.
Well, when they, like, I think you said on some of them, they want new content. But can you take that new content and put it back on your own blog post then? Or do you need to say this is first at Medium?
One of those publications are a little different. They each have something different to offer. And actually this morning I found a really neat resource. Bethany, you may already know this, but I didn't know it. But it was a really great way to see all of the publications that are on Medium. And it's called SMEDIAN, Smedian.com. And they have hundreds of those channels that you can submit to. And all you have to do is request. I know. I was like, wait, what? This is because it would be so much easier just to go through and pick the ones you're interested in, because there were several writing ones. And there were several other like very niche topics that you could sign up and say, yeah, I'd like to write for that, and try to get in there, because that is how you're going to get a bigger reach faster.
Vicki, does she have that right in the chat room?
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
Smedium. I've never heard
that was one of Tom's recommendations, so I'll throw that back to Tom. That was part of the lessons was, to sign up through there and then sign up for some publications, because that's one of the things he did, and that's how he became a top writer.
Yeah. Wow. Can you talk a little bit about tags, or did you guys read anything about tags? Is there certain ones that are what they look for, or there's certain ones that might be trending or come up, and how do you tag? We need to probably do some how to.
Okay, so you can choose up to 5 tags for your post, so it's included. And then you, so the person that I stumbled upon, I put Tom's name in the chat. This lady's name is Nicole Bianchi, and she has this amazing little PDF that kind of goes through steps and strategies for how to get on Medium. So I will put that in here too, so you guys can sign up. I'll put that in there in a minute.
Okay.
After you write your post, there's like a section where then you can choose your options. Like if you want to, you can just post it on your own, or you can submit it to a publication that you're already accepted into to write for them to review or however their publication works. And then you can put your tags there. I think it's in that box that pops up. So you'll like, I guess a simple strategy would be look at the people who are the top writers in the publication or the category that you're looking and see which tags they're using. Kind of like the same strategy on Instagram or Twitter. You need to know which tags are working. And then look at your analytics as you're going. If your numbers are dropping or whatever, you might want to change tags. But that would be a simple first suggestion.
That's great.
I also have a Google list of tags I could add in there too. Yeah. So yeah, but definitely watching your stats to see what people are wanting from you. It's the same strategy we use when we're blogging, right? If people are interacting with our posts, then we know we're onto something that people are interested in. So let me.
I'm gonna put the link.
ANCHI. She has if we would Google her name, she has a blog post.
I have the link to the exact.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to just click that and have that for later before I lose it.
I thought we were going to talk about her today in our chat. So.
Okay.
Nicole, there you go.
There you go. Thanks, Nicole. Thank you for that. I do have a question. I have gone and put a few on a few blog posts as repurposing, and it'll say add a photo. The more people, I cannot find that link. How do you add a photo then to your blog post?
I had to Google it myself because I couldn't figure it out at first.
It's a plus sign.
Mm-hmm.
There's a plus sign there? Okay.
Yeah, at the top. And it will give you a choice of what you want to add. So there's a variety of things. Yeah. Once you see, that's why I posted for a while on free, because I wanted to get used to it and what it was. And I wasn't worried about publications in the beginning. And, I knew I wasn't doing much of it right, but that's why I was playing with it for a while to see what worked. But I do think you get a lot more interactions with photos than you do with
Okay. And see, I haven't added because I couldn't figure it out. I'll have to go back the next time and look for that. Or I didn't know did you plan to do a screen share at all, Bethany, or something to have people see it?
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I mean,
yeah.
You can pull up that part of I've got 500 tabs open.
Have you guys read anything about, especially for writers, if this is like the brand new best thing to do, or should this be replacing any other strategies? I mean, if we always talk about being so limited in our time, and so in one sense it's like, wow, this is fun, exciting, and sounds great, and the other is like, oh my gosh, one more thing to have to do. So have you read anything, or do you have any insights on if we are going to do this, what might we not do? Or I know this can be a very sensitive question because we all have our favorite social media, but just some insights or guidelines on how to add this in without it being another have to, I guess.
I like Benjamin Hardy's story a lot because he focused on building his email list, which is what helps us get bigger book deals. I mean, that's a huge book deal to get. And he grew his audience that way. And I feel like sometimes I feel like it can seem like the book is the win, but it's not really the win. It's just a tool, and the win is getting your message out to your audience. So if that's your goal, I think Medium is a really great source for this. As he started writing for Medium and got real focused on it, he started writing for other publications that had he was Fast Company. I don't know, don't quote me on this. So I was reading a list really quick about Fortune. I know a lot of the big entrepreneurial magazines and things he became writers for. And then there was another big one that he started writing for and left Medium for a little while during that time period and wrote exclusively for them, and then came back to Medium. So he used that as one of his main ones, but was also blogging. So I think if you're focusing on writing content, maybe for your blog and repurposing a little bit, but then also writing really great content and using Medium, your social media posts will just come from what you've written on your blog and Medium. So instead of getting stressed about what to put on social, focus on your posts and then pull content from there and share it out through a schedule. That might make it easier.
That's a good idea.
What to do with your social media.
Absolutely.
If you're focusing on good content there. And the thing is, you'll know, because people will, Medium's such a great place. You can test your content. If you think you've got a book idea, you can start writing content in articles or posts from all your chapters that you think you want to submit. And if it's not going anywhere at all, this might not be something that the market wants or that your readers even want. So I think use social media, like I said, pull social media from your post, but I think this is definitely where I'm headed, as a major strategy for it. I think it's been proven for people who really focus on it that they get a lot of they build their audience.
Yeah.
That's
I personally
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, as far as posting blog posts all the time, my audience isn't huge on my blog. I think I'll get better traction faster on an already existing platform.
Yeah.
Put my ideas over there, and then I can always put them in as blog posts on my blog later if I want to continue to create content over there. But Medium has the bigger platform of people already reading, and so I'm going to go where the readers are. And there's some really interesting ideas behind fiction writers going over there and doing kind of serialized type things, posts, and you're creating this audience of people who really like you, that already exists.
So your strategy is probably to use Medium as your first place of publication.
Yes.
With the original content.
I have so many blogs right now that it's going to be easier to focus on one. Let me be honest.
Okay. Okay, show us, Bethany. This is what the main dashboard looks like.
I clicked. It's not the main dashboard.
Okay, but your dashboard, yeah.
Yeah, so I went here to write a story.
Okay.
So here's my bio. Here's your title, and here's the plus. So you can add pictures.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's your.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What else can you add? What are those other little dots, circles for? Do you know?
Lines and video and.
See the 3 lines that popped up right here?
Yeah.
Just to break up the space.
A link.
Okay.
So you can actually pull. So in Nicole's strategy PDF that is linked in that thing, she said that one way that she builds a lot of traffic is she will post her content on Medium here, but then she'll link back to blog posts on her website. So she'll have 2 or 3 and it pulls the image. So you could do like, I don't know, BethanyJett.com and then keep typing and here's the little plus just kind of follows you down here and the title should be up here.
Okay.
But I don't know, there's just like lots of, it's not super intuitive because you have to like look for the
Yeah, I didn't know that dot had all that. I thought that you just hit that to add your blog posts. You know, I didn't know it had that was the key button.
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, yeah, you can choose whether the text will go next to it or the text under it. So yeah, I mean, it's just like your blog, basically.
But I like what you said about, not having necessarily so much traffic on a blog, but when you're here.
Right.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, my audience is not huge, but this audience is huge.
Huge,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. And there's where you add your tag when you get. See, I was looking for in that block to where to add the picture, and I couldn't find it. So the picture's back. Now I see where I find the.
And
you
if you
can
start
share it on
typing, it will
Twitter.
give you options too.
Wow,
Yeah.
Oh.
nice.
You can see the
So
competition.
you might become a top writer on writing life faster than you would on writing.
Yes, yeah,
So, you want to use that strategy too.
right.
Somebody asked, it's not hashtags though. You don't use the hashtag sign.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's the same idea, but it's not a hashtag.
Okay, same idea, but you don't put that in. You just write the title that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. And I posted that link to that Google Doc in the chat for the top tags on Twitter, on Medium, sorry.
Now, what is this that we're looking at now? Is
This
this
is
the,
the homepage. This is my homepage.
okay, and those are categories at the top, or those things you chose, or is that what they just give you?
When I filled it out, I got to choose like some categories that I was interested in, so that the front page develops a little. So like entrepreneurship is one. Like so, this kind of fits things that I might be interested in.
Okay, and then these are some of the places you might go for content to share. You say you went to read that Harvard study, and
Right,
you
that's
really
from her
like
network.
that. You tweet that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for example.
and that's
Okay.
from her network, and that's why it showed up there. And then they give you recommendations based on your reading history. And so,
Okay.
you can see why that's showing up in your.
Oh, Jeannie's there.
What?
Right here.
Your thing, what I learned in May, is on.
Oh, it did pop that
Yes,
up.
and then so that's anybody you follow will show up over there.
Huh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I've been repurposing some of my blog posts, but I haven't done much of anything else with it.
Well, I'm fascinated.
Yeah, thank you for
It's a deep
going there.
well.
Yeah. So his strategy, I want to go back and see the chat. I'm not seeing the chat here.
Yeah.
His strategy is to do something every day, or somebody's strategy was that way. To
Yes.
do something
But
every
short
day.
things, they could be short things and not necessarily the same topic.
Okay. Because what I've been doing is on Fridays going in and just repurposing something from my blog post. So better strategy might be to do something new each week.
I think it's probably the same recommendations that we get for multiple things, right? Like if we start with a particular strategy, if it's once a month, if it's once a week, if it's 3 times a week, you just have to be consistent doing what you're doing. They're saying the more times you post in a week, the more eyes are going to be on your stuff and you're going to build faster. And so that's how you build followers. And then his other strategy for building followers, he says follow 125 people a day, which I don't do that, but I follow the people that I like their articles, and inevitably they follow back. So, I mean, if you really wanted to grow fast, it's kind of the same thing we do with Twitter and some of our other platforms. You got to follow certain people, follow people that you're interested in and what they're doing, and see if they follow you in return. And you just start to build your following that way. And then, like you saw, their newsfeed gets your latest post in there. So if your name is showing up regularly on their feed, then you're going to look like you know what you're doing and what you're talking about, right? I mean, you're just going to look like a person that knows what they're talking about.
So much for imposter syndrome, right?
We've got some questions in the chat. Do people comment on your posts? And I think you said yes, because you can clap for the comments too. Can you moderate comments?
Haven't had to, but I would assume you'd be able to delete them. Bethany, have you had to moderate any comment? I don't know.
On that, huh?
And then Rhonda also asked about having 2 blogs, but it doesn't have to, I think we've talked about it doesn't have to be only on one topic. It can be on different, you can blog on different topics. I've been making a list. I've got about 7 different things. It's like, yeah, that's
which is nice, because you can even talk about religious topics, inspirational topics. There's categories for all of that. So, you can really get there, and there's publications for all that. So a lot of times if I follow a person and then I see they wrote for a particular publication, I kind of go in there and follow the publication to see who else is writing in that particular
interesting. And then
how do you
go ahead. Well, Jan asked, should ask about following the ones you really want to keep up with instead of going for numbers. Like, so I think.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. I'm only following the people that I'm interested in. Mm-hmm.
I think it's a personal decision, Jan. If you want to grow really fast, you might want to do the 125 a day or follow Vicky's strategy. That's an individual decision. But I agree with Vicky. I'd rather they be solid numbers of people who are really cared about what I was writing than just numbers, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same strategy we're using with Twitter and Instagram, is following the people we're interested in already. Exactly. And that may be a lot of people, and hopefully it is, because the more you follow, the more they're going to interact back with you.
Yeah.
And Michelle's got her hand up, but I don't know what to do about that.
Who's?
Michelle has raised her hand. So, I think, Michelle, if you don't mind, when we bring everybody on, we'll let you ask your question then.
Or she can put it in the chat, maybe.
Or put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I did not know Zoom even had a raise your hand feature, so that was cool. There we go.
There you go. You learned something new. I'm that way. Nancy asked that when you write for a publication, do you also write on your own profile?
I'm not writing for any publications yet, so I don't know the answer to that.
I'm just submitting now to start writing for some.
Okay, so it's something we're going to have to learn together. Maybe we could follow up with that question as you get some response in the next couple months and stuff. I'm curious on your profile description, Bethany, that we saw. Now, we've talked about having it being consistent between different platforms. Is that the same one you've used on Twitter or you used on LinkedIn, or have you personalized it, or what have you done?
I literally just changed it just now. I changed my bios a lot. I update them a lot.
You told us that one time to go in.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm always looking at testing, seeing, you never know. I actually just this morning took my Medium bio and put it on Instagram, and then changed it up a little bit there as well. So I guess I can show you my screen.
Okay.
So with the
Nancy,
publications, I guess that you said you're trying to get into the publications while you're bringing that up. So different ones have different standards, I assume, or
Submission guidelines.
Yep.
Okay, submission guidelines.
Okay, so one reason why I just moved the boy mama up, mostly because Benjamin Hardy's profile started out with husband and father, or father 3. I'm like, well, let me move my mom wife and boy one up front. That's what I'll do. Like if I'm reading people's bios and I'm seeing like the formula they're using, sometimes I'll just go in and switch mine around. That's one reason why mine changes quite a bit, because I look at formulas. So I just did it again. But also we have this, Vicki is also writing a book. Her deadline is very, very short.
Yes, it is. I've heard about
Shorter than mine.
I need to keep breathing right now, so.
Breathe in, Vicki. Keep breathing. Are you limited to how much you could put in your little bio there? I mean, or is that, okay, there's like so many characters or so many words or something? Okay.
I tried to use words, like I have the word author in here twice, which is the pet peeve of mine in bios, because it's just a wasted character space because the word's already there. So I'm gonna take out part of this again. But the devotional that we're writing right now is a mom devotional. So everything in my social media is now slanting towards moms. And so that's one reason that's a good idea to stick that up at the front, because I'm going to look for publications that moms are reading and
nice
a connection there. And then I also want to be writing some writing and marketing ones, which is why I had the marketing and PR strategist in there, which is something I'm testing on Instagram right now too. So I'll have something else. The author parts are going to change in here in just a few minutes. But
that's great strategy. That's a great tip, I think, for all of us to know. Can you put links in your bio? Do you know?
I don't think so. I think you can link in your posts.
Yes.
Okay.
And some publications, it's going to depend. Some of them won't let you post out. Mm-hmm. So you really have to follow
their guidelines. Mm-hmm. Basically. Can you click on claps and show us claps?
I don't know if I have any.
I don't know what it shows for people to see what.
Oh, I clapped for people. So.
Okay, that's showing. Oh, look at Vicki.
Vicki right there. Can I give her some more?
Give her some more. Okay.
Load her up.
Here's how you clap.
So how to show us how? And there on the side is where.
Oh, there we go. See the numbers?
There you go.
Yay!
Look at me.
And so I see the Twitter and the little quote thing is probably where you put a comment.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you could comment and then that just
straight out
tweets
it.
That makes sense.
Nice.
So
nice.
you get the tag on Twitter. Like if somebody retweets it that way, then you get the tag notification on Twitter that's how that got posted. So, if you're going to do that, I always like to make sure I copy that link, because I usually do my scheduler. I copy that link and send it out, because then the person that wrote the article will know that I posted their article.
Say that again now.
Yeah, I want to hear that again.
Say that again. Okay. So instead of hitting the little bird.
Okay, so I do hit the little bird, but instead of going ahead and tweeting, I copy and I put it in my scheduler.
Oh, okay.
Because I like to make sure that I get their handle in the tweet, and I like to use my scheduler because then I can track my analytics. So
good plan.
That is that. Oh, this is a great tip.
I love the first that hits the little bird.
Hit the bird.
Hit that bird. I need
I
a
like that
gavel.
it tags the person that wrote the post, because then they know, hey,
Yeah.
not only did I clap for it, I'm sending it out to the people that are on my Twitter feed because I think it's important and people should read it. And then they have the opportunity to like my tweet. They have the opportunity to talk to me, at that point. And then that's what's creating that engagement that we're all trying to get, whichever platform we're on. And it just all feeds back.
Yeah, I like Rhonda's comment, and those of you that are watching this replay won't understand it, but we need a mule icon. You'll have to ask Johnny.
Yeah.
Mule. Yeah, we need a mule icon. But I like to hit the bird because I think of Angry Birds, so I
I've got a strange Angry Bird story too, but we won't go there today.
Now, maybe you could write on Medium about that.
There you go. That'd be a great new thing. Probably bring some new writers and stuff. I had a question earlier, but we went back to the basics. So, how do you get notifications, Vicki, every morning of the articles? Is there something in settings that you went to that you can get a daily email? I don't want an hourly email.
No, I get a daily based on what I'm following.
Okay.
And I don't know that I asked for that. I don't remember, honestly.
Okay, because I have a few things I follow on Twitter, on Medium, and I don't get that. So there's got to be something probably in the settings or something that we're going to go back and check this out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bethany.
So here's where I know to find but so I went to, here's your little menu here, and I went to publications. And these are the ones that I'm following, and I don't know exactly why I followed all these. It may have been when I was setting stuff up, it gave suggestions, but then you can choose to get emails.
Oh, I see. There he goes. Okay.
And they give you suggested ones as well.
Okay.
So here's one like writing from the heart, stories about life, loss, and love in the digital age. I mean, so it's not all like it's not all like how to write for writers, although there is parts of that, but personal sharing ideas and experiences, like Mom, like you could talk about your Angry Birds obsession in there and how you grew personally. Like there's a lot, and these are just poetry. There's just a lot that to explore, really. I'm excited to
see. Yeah, and if you go to customize your interests, they're going to give you suggestions based on what you've already picked.
Oh, there you go. That was on that.
Yeah, and so they've got, if you scroll down, you got people, but then they've got topics underneath that, and then new and notable, so new things. So there's all kinds of suggestions down there that I thought were really interesting. And then one of the other things that is a strategy is if you find somebody that's got a lot of followers and they're a good writer, look at that coffee. I got that one. Sorry, girl. If you follow somebody and they've got a lot of people that read what they're saying, they've got a lot of claps on their articles, you can go in and see who clapped, and you can start to follow those people, because the people that are following those people may be people that are interested in what you're writing as well. So
Vicki, walk us through that right here with Tim Ferriss.
Okay, so this is Tim.
So go to claps. That's claps from Tim. So let's see.
Can you go to a post maybe?
Yeah, I think we have to go to a post. I've only done this once or twice because, like I said, I got a little distracted.
How to avoid the fear of missing out.
So, yeah, and so you should be able to click on click on the claps and get a list of who's clapped. Where did that go?
Oh, I clicked on the number, not the clap.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, so you can find more people here that, hey, look, this guy's a writer and a speaker, and maybe he's somebody, or a writer and a reader that has an interest in poetry. And so storytellers, you can look at their bios, or you can go in and look at what they've posted. Some people are missing out on not having a bio for sure. But because that would be so much faster. I don't have a lot of time to go in and check out people who don't have bios. So,
and you wouldn't, right? I mean, most people aren't going to do that.
I mean, unless I just have time to sit around. That's really rare.
Fascinating. I think this I'm gonna have to spend the day exploring Medium.
I know. Have a Medium day.
And you can also follow up here, and then they also have this. I mean, so there's lots.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot.
So it's going to be really worth our time to play around with it a little bit.
I like this. I mean, I'm always a little bit opposed, like, oh no, I have to start something new. But this is, I like this. And one reason is because of what we said earlier, just to repeat it. I don't get a lot of traffic on my website. I don't blog that often. I mean, of course, so that goes hand in hand too. But it's like, this is where readers are. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather put time, I think, in posting here than posting on my website.
You know how they say LinkedIn is more oriented, the audience is more business.
Mm-hmm.
And, they've got certain broad descriptions. Did you guys read anything about certain descriptions for Medium? Other than readers, it is attracting. It sounds like readers that like something with some good content, not fluff.
The phrase that I keep seeing over and over and over is well-written content. Okay. Well-written. I mean, I see that word, like, anytime I look up anything about Medium, they keep harping on well-written. I think it's because anyone can publish there. I think it's our world. We can publish anywhere we want. So I think consistency was another one, because it can take time to build the audience to where your post then goes viral, and then you start hitting those top things. Like I said, like at least in Ben Hardy's case, that led to writing for other publications with big audiences as well, which is even more name recognition. So like, content gets rewarded, I think, as you consistently post on it.
Yeah, so this description by the man, Ev Williams, who's the co-founder of Twitter and the founder of Medium, he said this is how you could think about Twitter is what's happening. So traditional news is what happened, and Medium is what really happened. So it's like a story behind the story. That's how he described it, as what his intention was for Medium. And I really liked that, because it made sense to me that, Twitter's kind of the short, this is what's happening right now. And then news is, well, that already happened, but here I'm going to tell you about it. And then Medium's just like, here's the rest of the story. It's kind of like the Paul Harvey, it's just, you're going to get the rest of it and the behind the scenes. But, the White House and Sports Illustrated and everybody writes on Medium. So like even companies are using Medium to, again, build brand awareness, things and same thing for authors. We're going to want to use that for brand awareness.
Do we have dead air?
We're not on dead air.
I'm watching the cement truck out my door on that way. Maybe it's time. It's 10 of. Let's invite everybody back on and see other questions or discussions. It looks like Nancy too.
Yeah, I wanted to bring Nancy in to talk about the Medium experiment. So we want to do that.
So we'll get Nancy back on, and as people come back in, because there'll be a few minutes here, I'll quickly say while we're still being recorded what next week's topic is. So we'll be back here next Tuesday at 11 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to have Rhonda, who on the screen I see, she's right from home weekend. We had such a great discussion with Rhonda, month or two ago on using Microsoft Word, and learned all sorts of neat tricks that people are still saying in the Facebook group that they're still using today. So we wanted her to come back for part 2. So we're excited. So that's going to be next week's topic.
Thank you.
I'm
excited. I'm excited to come, Jean.
And we're excited to have you back. So we're real excited.
Wanted to say I am going to post on the Writers Chat Facebook an invitation for people to send questions they want to answer. If you have a particular problem that keeps popping up and it's just frustrating you, perhaps, I won't promise, but perhaps I have the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Did we get Nancy back on? Thank you. We're looking forward to you. Nancy, I see.
I have. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
But you can't see me.
Can't see you.
I don't know why.
We just see if you got an invitation to get yourself.
Oh, start my video. Okay. Yep. All right. Well,
hey, yeah. If anybody else can't get back on, let us know, because there's ways sometimes we can release you from non-video if you want to.
Right. Okay. Well, I found out about Medium through Tribe Writers. If anybody is in Tribe Writers, they have a Facebook page called the Tribe Writers Network, Tribe Builders Network. And the idea of that Facebook page is to help people from the Tribe Writers group to expand in other social media areas. So I joined that, and I was just, at first I thought, oh, there's one more thing, but it's like, well, I'm going to learn it. I've been on it for a while, and I haven't been aggressive in developing it, but I write on there because it's it expands my audience. It gives me to a different audience. And Jeff Goins, I see the link for Jeff Goins there. He recommended it, and all these, of course, Tribe Writers is from Jeff Goins, and is his tribe. And so he created Tribe Writers, and so somebody within Tribe Writers has created the Tribe Building Network, and then created the Medium Experiment. And the Medium Experiment is that every Monday, from noon to 1, on that Facebook page, you can share your link for your Medium article. And then everybody in the Medium Experiment will go and clap for it. Okay? And they figured it out. It's like from 12 to 1. Does anybody else know about this? No.
It's a pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like a pod, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. I sound like it's a pod.
Anyway, it really, and then during that time, if people can do it during that hour, it'll generate more in the algorithm of Medium. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you really want to hone down your strategy, you can do it. However, I usually forget. I usually am busy doing something because when it comes up, but then I do go through later that day and I clap and I highlight in people's articles so that we're supporting one another in, yes, I did say on Monday. And so I started writing on Medium, and then one of the other people in this tribe, in the Medium Experiment, started, a couple of people worked together to create a publication, and they put out, if you want to write, submit here, and so I thought, okay, I'll do that. And so I submitted to write for them, and I was accepted for that. And it's called Publish Us Now. I put the link in it up earlier, up there, Medium Publish Us, and it's like, their tagline is publishing tomorrow's bestsellers today.
Nice.
Tomorrow's top writers today. And it has a variety of topics that you can write on, and so you could probably submit to that and write. Nicole Akers was one that started that, and Frank McKinley. And I just really, like I said, I haven't been aggressive with it. I've written every week, but then to submit for the publication, they have to have it by Sunday. They have their deadline, and then they create their publication, and it goes out on Monday. And so their particular publication, Publish Us, goes out on Monday, and then that it has your link, and you could subscribe to that publication. And so that's why I asked the question, if you write for a publication, do you put it on your profile? Because I've just been writing for the publication and sending my things there. I don't know if that's a question I have to ask. You can, they talk about the 3 dots. You saw that illustrated when Victoria went to and showed what the dots can do. Beneath the 3 dots, you can post your a short bio, a link to say, if you like this, you can join my email list and you can have your link for your email list there. And I've used that. I've gained some, but I'm the kind of person where I haven't found one thing that works great. So I just keep plugging away at it, but I have gained some on my email list from that. So yes, you can create a blogging strategy to coordinate with Medium. I started, from listening to the people, I read their articles, and they, like Jeff Goins, the big guy of Tribe Writers anyway, suggested he started writing using older posts of his. And so I've started doing, that's where I thought, I'll retool it, put a different picture on it, just kind of make it. And so I've used that. So I have the content there. So I do post to Medium and I post to my blog. You can cross-link between Medium and your blog. And you can then, send out the links to other social media for Medium. I'm just learning about it, but it's given me a different audience and expanded that, which I like about it. You can repost from your blog. I think I did it once and it copied the whole thing, and then at the bottom it said first appeared on, and then it gave the blog link and the date. So if you're just going to import right from your blog, you can do that. I don't know the benefits of this. These are just things so you can have the email list builder at the bottom. It's a place where sometimes I've experimented with voice, just to write more, just trying something different. On my blog, there's one style and one voice, and that's me, but this is also me, but I can try different things. And I've done that just maybe because I have a different audience, and so they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. The people, just a little more anonymity as far as my friends that, if I talk about something, but it's a very personal, they want the story, like anything, they want the story. And so, there's, it's every Monday, the Medium experiment, and you can repost previous Medium articles in the Medium experiment, because they'll say, okay, who needs claps? And we'll drop the link in there, and then, you get claps. So.
Well, great. Well, Nancy, thank you for that. Appreciate you sharing your experiences.
Thank you. I haven't been consistent. I've been spotty, but I try to do it a couple of times a month. I know all that you need to be more consistent, but I've been gone. I've been on vacation and life, but I still know that it's there.
Life.
So, so it's really, this has been really helpful to gain some more insight.
Yeah.
And if we have questions, being a part of the Tribe Builders Network, we can go in there and ask questions of each other about Medium.
That's
so
nice too.
Anyway, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that.
Well, actually, Nancy, you actually mentioned a little bit about the voice in there, which is, I was going to say, a blogging strategy to work with Medium. And I learned this the hard way, because sometimes there's publications that will pull from your blog post. So they'll find you and they'll say, hey, I like what you're writing. Can we share your blog post to our bigger audience? Which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I said yes. And then, but what I found out was on the bigger platforms, because they don't know you, they're reading it as a news article. If you're writing anything personal and it's not your direct targeted audience, the comments that I was getting from the people were not like positive comments. And I realized it's because they don't know me. And they're thinking like, why is she ranting? Because I didn't write it in a news way. I wrote it in a blog way.
Story way, yeah.
You mentioned, yes. So if you're going to be using Medium as your big one, this is just a suggestion. So I stopped doing that because the voice was different. But if you write for your Medium audience, then inside of your Medium post, you can even give teasers like, here's the juicy details are here or whatever. And then you can take the similar story and then just add on a couple hundred words, and that could be your blog post on your website.
Right.
Then linking to your Medium article. I mean, so you could just do a little extra twist on both if you're wanting to get content there. But because that was hard when I was reading some of those contents. I thought, they hate me. I was like, no, it's because it was the tone.
Yeah.
I understood why they didn't get it. So So a blog is much more personal than an article on Medium.
Yeah. So it's an interesting platform, and I do want to, experiment and learn more about it, but it is time consuming and, like anything, but it is a very interesting just to hear so many well-known writers that have used Medium is encouraging.
And how long has it been around? I mean, are we still like on the cutting edge of getting in on the ground floor, or not really? It's been around a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been around a while. I don't know how long it's been around, but the inspirational side. A year ago, I heard someone say the inspirational side is not as big as these other more developed categories. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I feel like Christian publishing, Christian lots of things is always behind everything. Yeah. So I would say this is a great time to start filling up those inspirational feeds.
Yeah, I agree.
And get on Medium. Like,
exactly.
Representing well-written content.
We reached, it's 11 or 12, or, whatever. It's the top of the hour, wherever you are. So we need to wrap up, but we thank you all for being with us. Thanks to Bethany and Vicki both for just bringing us all this information about this not so new platform that some of us are just now hearing about anyway. And Nancy for adding her experiences. Again, next week we'll have Rhonda back with us to talk about Microsoft Word tips and tricks, which is just, got so much out of it the first time she was here. So this is part 2. If you're visiting us on the replay, we ask that you try to join us in person if you can, because before the show and after the show, there's a lot that goes on. So everybody else, just if you can, stay on for the after party. Otherwise, we'll say goodbye. Thanks for being with us on Writers Chat. Bye-bye.